Hello, Heart Warriors. How are you? I wanted to come on this New Year's Eve and share a little bit with you and just say thank you so much for being here this year. Your support means the world to me. And I truly believe that it is so important to send the past year out thoughtfully and invite the new year in equally as thoughtfully. And I always like to take some time on New Year's Eve to consciously and carefully consider the mistakes, the successes, and the lessons from the past year, as well as to figure out then my intentions, my desires, my goals for the next year, 2022. 2022 coming up. Wow, hard to believe. And I know it's been a tough year for a lot of people, and it's been a grand year for other people. So, and I think that's the way it always is, and we tend to get a little bit mired if we let our mindset stick to the negative instead of look at all the positives. So with grace and some ease, I'd like to share, a little New Year's ritual with you that I always do. I like to take this time, New Year's Eve, and here we are. So in my mind and heart, you truly do have until I think the end of January coming up to kind of set your New Year's goals, resolutions, whatever you want to call them, into place. Get everything sorted out of what you want for yourself for the direction of 2022. You can take the entire month to think about it. Come up with your plans, come back to it daily until you really kind of figure stuff out. So, I don't think it can be emphasized strongly enough that it really helps to plan or have a vision for our future, because otherwise, if we don't actually have a new vision or how we want to steer ourselves, years just pass by and we have nothing to show for it. So I really do think it takes careful planning and forethought and envisioning what we want for ourselves, because nothing big and meaningful ever happens just by accident or by luck. There is some intention behind it. Somewhere we've had the vision, we've intended for something for ourselves or for something else or for whatever to come into our lives. Somewhere there's been an intention. Somewhere we've manifested it. Somewhere we have attracted what comes into our life. Anyway, so that being said, I'd really like to just reiterate that the smallest seed of intention can really grow something powerful within yourself and in your life. Our brains, our bodies, our embodiment of the whole being, head, heart, soul, can visualize things into reality. And with amazing results sometimes. And I do find it a shame sometimes when people don't, but that's also not their journey. But if you want to make some changes and you're really looking to bring something different to yourself this year, then jump on this little visualization train with me. So if you're interested, stick around here for my New Year's ritual. And I like to begin with this past year, 2021, give it proper due and a proper send-off. I'm French, I talk with my hands. And I think it's important to do the prompts that I'm going to give you. There's going to be 5 of them, to do them in order to kind of get maximum benefit. But again, you do you. It doesn't have to be done that way. And I have often found I have a great little community that sharing this with another person makes it even that much more powerful. Okay, so without further ado, number 1, write down the people who were most important to you this year and why they were important to you. Just list 3 maybe a few more, but who are like the 3 most influential and important people to you this year? 2, successes and achievements of this past year. Make a list, 3 plus, and they don't have to be huge successes. They can be small ones, like learning to roast Brussels sprouts the proper way. Have you ever tried to roast Brussels sprouts? They turn out differently every time. I still haven't perfected it, so not one of my successes. Number 3 would be failures, mistakes of the past year. A list of 3 plus. And it's important to make sure that we don't write down these failures in a way that we feel like we haven't learned a lesson. And then that takes us into number 4, which is lessons learned. A list of 3 plus. And you can use your successes, your failures, and the important people in your life to write down your 3 plus lessons learned. And then number 5 is things to leave behind or let go of. What are the things that we'd really like to just, that little chain that keeps, just rattling behind us? Is it grudges? Is it a certain sorrow? Is it a bad habit? Bite your nails? You have a donut every day. Well, it's not necessarily a bad habit, but you know what I mean. Like, what are the things you really want to get rid of, or anything that requires forgiveness of another person, or forgiveness for yourself? So number 5 was leaving behind those things that should be left behind and that you want to move on from. Okay, you guys still with me? Now, once you've got those done, you're going to move into the new year. And again, these writing prompts take a little bit of time. I tend to take like an hour on New Year's Eve to do this. But again, like I said, you can take the entire month, pick them apart a little bit, one by one. So number 1 for your new year writing would be, what are the core desired feelings you want to have for the new year? And I usually choose 3, and your core desired feelings will change with time. And the idea is to focus on how you want to feel, not what you want to do, how you want to feel. And then that feeling brings the doing along with it. So, for example, I'll share my 3 core desired feelings for the new year. What I want to feel is empowered, encouraged, and embodied. And when I mean embodied, I already have a pretty good practice with embodiment of really listening to my body, but I want to take that even deeper. I want full immersion embodiment there. So then your number 2 prompt would be a theme word for the year. Okay, so this is it's up in big lights, your theme word for the year, and I like this actually better than resolutions. And pick one word for your entire year that kind of sets the theme for you, and then that helps you guide your actions. Last year, my word, because they go hand in hand, was actually 2 words, were grace and ease. And so this year, 2022, my word, which will guide all of my actions, is community. And I'm still sussing that out of how that's actually going to work or what that's going to look like, but I'm pretty excited about that. And community in my local area, community out in the world that is at large, and how building community is important, what that means to me. So I'm still figuring that out. The number 3 thing you want to do for the coming year is goals and resolutions. And I like to try and be careful around goals and resolutions, because we often try to set lofty goals for ourselves and then we just fail. So I like to do 3 goals for my business or my work and 3 personal goals. And they should be, your personal goals should really be about your authentic self goals. Goals you want to achieve, not what you think somebody else wants you to do or achieve, but what do you really want to do? What are your goals for yourself? And write them down. Now, what's really important for this one is that you only do 3. In everything else, you could do 3+. This one, only 3. Granted, you will probably change your goals at some point. It could change again, like 4 days down the road, that you're like, you know what? I'm moving or expanding this goal. But stick to 3, and otherwise, you spread yourself far too thin and get distracted and feel overwhelmed by the goals if you have too many. So just prioritize only 3. Okay, that was a lot. I wish you well. And if you have some time, if you're by yourself tonight, or before you go out, or after you get home, if you're celebrating out, and do this tomorrow too, if you can't do it today, is that I like to solidify all of this writing with then like a bath, calm. You can also do it with a shower if you don't have a bath, to really kind of wash away the old, wash away the past year, and then allow yourself to be literally clean, to invite in all of these things you want for yourself the new year. So I hope this has given you some ideas of how to release the old year and how to bring in the new year with love, maybe renewed wisdom and contentment for yourself. And I want to just remind you as I end here, you are loved and you are enough. And I'm so happy I'm here with you. Thank you. Bye for now.